Good evening, everyone, and happy Monday to all of you out there. I wanted to record this video to elaborate on my first post of the day back this morning that read, and I quote, "If I can make a medical diagnosis better than a doctor, then we need to get a workout in. Our lives depend on it. More later." Well, more is now. I want to share with you a story of what happened over the weekend. Um, Obviously, you all know I'm here in North Carolina. My mom is up in New York, and she wasn't feeling well. Was dealing with some uh, gastro issues, some lightheadedness, some dizziness, things of that nature. Just wasn't feeling well overall, and it got to the point where it just made sense to take her to get checked out. Went to go see her doctor, number one, then was sent to a local hospital to be evaluated there and went through a litany of tests on Friday and was sent home basically with, I guess, a souped up version of Maalox in essence. And was feeling better, a little bit better there, and then just got progressively worse and into the weekend. So I ended up going back to the hospital and staying overnight on Saturday and well into Sunday. She's doing well. I don't want to scare anybody out there. She's doing fine. She's home. She was discharged late last night, and she's home and she's resting and doing her thing and hopefully not going 100 miles an hour with her hair on fire like she usually does. Anyway, she underwent a litany of tests, multiple blood tests, a CT scan, ultrasound, a couple others I don't remember off the top of my head. It was a few different ones. And at one point, I told my sister, who was there taking care of her, she lives there with my mom, when you see the doctor next, you know, let's make sure that they check for vertigo because I've experienced it. I have a client of mine who experiences it from time to time. So I'm somewhat familiar with the symptoms, and it just made sense. All the symptoms that were popping up, the lightheadedness, the dizziness, the nausea, the fatigue, all of it. At the very least, to me, it made sense to get that checked out, if for no other reason than to rule it out. So finally, they checked. This was, late in the second trip to the hospital. Finally checked, and sure enough, that's what it was. Now I'm not sharing this story to pat myself on the back and say great job. I'm not, and I'm not about to even begin to say that I know more than a doctor does. I don't have the medical degree. I've never set foot in a medical school. I don't have the white lab coat, the stethoscope, the degree on the wall. But I will say this, and it was the same message I shared with my Achilles tendon injury and what could have happened if I didn't listen to my gut and advocate for myself and get a second opinion and make sure that what my gut was telling me was either right or wrong. And it turns out I was right. Thankfully, I listened. Same thing in this case. Again, not patting myself on the back, but it just everything pointed to at least taking the time to check and see. And here's the thing. I mean, doctors see a lot of people. They can at hospitals, especially, it sounded like it was an absolute zoo there over the weekend at the hospital they went to. So I get it. You're overworked, you work long hours, you're seeing a lot of different people, a lot of different patients, and you're human. You're not always going to get it right. So this isn't me trying to, put doctors down. There's plenty of great doctors out there. But what I am saying is, as much as they may be the quote unquote experts in their specific field, we are the experts when it comes to what's going on with us, what's going on inside of us. When I was told that the tear in my Achilles was down by my heel, it just didn't make sense to me because of where the blood clots were, where the pain was, where the swelling was, the black and blue, the whole 9 yards. It just didn't make any sense. So I trusted my gut and got a second opinion. And in this case, it just didn't make any sense that they weren't checking the one thing that it seemed to be, at least for me. So why am I sharing this? What is the moral to this story? The gist to the story? It's advocate. I had a client earlier today share with me, and it was a profound statement, that you don't question the experts. Just didn't think that, if I was told to do something, I should just do it. And I get that. You want to believe that the doctor knows, the doctor always knows, and the doctor gets it right every time. And they may have forgotten more not medical knowledge than any of us will ever learn in our lifetime. I 100% believe that. But at the same time, they don't know us. They don't know you. They don't know me. They don't know my mom. So the fact, and I've seen this before, on top of that, again, I've been around my mom. I know what happens when she's not feeling well and the symptoms that she deals with. And this has come up before. So I was familiar with the situation enough to say, hey, what about this? Whereas the doctors, they didn't. I imagine the doctors that saw her had never seen her before and may never see her again. So be your staunchest advocate. Just because the doctor says it's A, B, and C, and you think it's X, Y, Z, you need to say something. Keeping quiet is the worst thing you could possibly do. No one knows you better than you. So take that for what it's worth. Once again, not putting down doctors, not putting down the medical field. There's plenty of great doctors and physicians and specialists and so on and so forth out there. But ultimately, your gut doesn't lie. Your gut will tell you exactly what's going on. All you have to do is listen and then speak out. Makes all the difference in the world, folks. Just wanted to share that with you. Have a great rest of the evening. And remember always that fitness is our business.